Welcome to the PopCast, where it's all about
Fingerboarding.
Hi, Griebebrett. This is Ollie,
And this is Tom.
and thank you for listening to the 9th episode of our Fingerboard PopCast. We have a lot of things to discuss today, so we're gonna go really quick into the follow-up.
Yes, and our first follow-up is that Blackriver Ramps has a new team rider whose name is Cassius Hirst. He's another UK team rider. They announced it via Instagram and YouTube on the 26th of October 2020. They released a sick video exclusively filmed on the playground, where he did sick tricks on very creative spots. Cassius is fingerboarding since 2008, according to his fingerboarding account.
Yeah, and you probably all know him already, because he's quite Instagram famous with 85,000 followers, almost as much as Blackriver themselves. He's 20 years old and also sponsored by Beast Pants and Southsoft. We reached out to him and asked him not particularly questions, but just to talk a bit about why Blackriver is so special to him, how he came in contact with them first, and what are his plans for the future. So here is his statement. Enjoy.
Hey guys, Cass here. Thank you for having me on the show. As you know, I recently became a part of the Blackriver team, which is crazy for me. It's basically my childhood dream was I used to dream of just having Blackriver ramps, just one. But everything has just gone so much further than I ever could have imagined it going. Going from thinking I need to stop fingerboarding by the age of 13 because everybody needs to grow up, to making an Instagram account and having all sorts come from that. It's crazy to now kind of be at the next stage, which is being a part of the Blackriver team. It feels like it's something bigger than like just being an Instagram fingerboarder. It's more like trying to cement my place as a fingerboarder in some way, because I feel like it's something that's super close to me and it always has been, and it's something I never want to lose. And I think Blackriver reflects that perfectly, because it's been going for so long, so strong, and you can tell it just comes from a place of loving fingerboarding. And I think that's why I've continued over the years. So yeah, I feel like Blackriver is perfect, to be honest, because there's something special about it that kind of, I feel, relates to the way I do things, which is that Blackriver just blends together fingerboarding and skateboarding and art and woodworking and model making and construction in general, and the whole thing it's just the most insane amalgamation of, like, art, I guess. It's it's a crazy place, but I feel like I admire it for that. I love that it's not limited to making ramps and not limited to selling boards and not limited to, trucks. It's just everything. It's everything at such a high quality. And I feel like that kind of, I don't know. I met Martin and Denise at Fast Fingers 20, which was amazing. It was just amazing to see so many people that I'd only ever seen in YouTube videos when I was younger. It was great to see them fingerboarding and kind of just having fun there. And it was amazing to see Martin, and it was kind of fascinating to see how he was glad to see me, and he wanted to show me kind of Blackriver and where it all came from, and that for me was just pretty mind-blowing. It was a mind-blowing day, to be honest, but having Martin just walk around the whole factory with me and show me all the stock and all the little gems and artifacts from Blackriver history was just kind of it was pretty special, to be honest, but it showed me that he could see that I admire this stuff, you know, and that this stuff truly fascinates and excites me. As you guys may have seen, I've been laying low on Instagram recently. It's kind of been something that slowly happened. I think fingerboarding used to be a thing where I would get home from school every day and I would film clips and I would post them, and I would film clips and I would post them, and I would just do that over and over and over again, kind of every day, most days. And recently there's been a lot of change. I've moved houses like twice. Everything's kind of out of order a little bit, but I hope to get some more stuff out there soon. But I also think it's a good time to pace myself and focus more on the good stuff, like getting, you know, the Blackriver part was great to get out. It was great to edit it, great to film it. I did that over lockdown when I was in Devon in the countryside of England. That was where I got the actual sponsor package from Martin with a little note saying, "Welcome to the team." It was pretty crazy, but I hope for the future for there to be more of that, you know, spending a bit more time on making quality stuff that is less trying to prove myself and more trying to just deliver good fingerboarding videos to people like myself, almost, you know, like put stuff out there that would excite a child like me when I was like 8 years old, because I just wanted to see really clean tricks in super slow-mo on really nice ramps with really nice setups. And it feels like sometimes I can get that. I think the Blackriver part kind of had a lot of that in it. Or at least I tried to have some of that in.
Thank you very much, Cassius, for that statement. And I really think you succeeded. I liked the part a lot. It was creative tricks. As you said, nice setup on nice ramps and nice clean tricks. It didn't seem like randomly filmed clips after school. No, cool parts. Big props from me.
Yeah, I think so too. Also, thanks a lot for the nice statement. It's been all in all very interesting and well said. Yeah, but so much to this. And now we go into news number 1.
The news.
Okay, so let's jump straight into our first news topic. We stay with Blackriver because Blackriver has announced a new board brand, Blackriver Fingerboards. They were announced via Instagram, the website, and a blog entry on the 16th of October 2020. And according to that blog entry, there will be new 7-ply boards with power pop construction, regular 5-ply mini logos. Some classic graphics will move across from Berlin wood to Blackriver Fingerboards. And there will be new graphics in the future. For now, it's the Ruben Young Pro model, which is new. And talking about Berlin wood, it will continue as normal, according to the blog entry, and brands will be further separated. So everyone in the company of Blackriver has his or her creative freedom. Martin and Denise on Blackriver Fingerboards and Timo on Berlin wood. Denise already started in releasing her first En Voyage art series, which is a limited edition and already partly sold out. So sorry guys, if you listen to that, it's too late. But enough about that. As you know, we reached out to the people involved and here they are. Welcome to the podcast, Denise, Martin and Timo.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
Yeah, we prepared some questions for you guys. And Tom, do you want to start?
Yeah, sure. The first question goes out to Martin and Denise. And we'd like you to tell us in your own words what's innovative about the Blackriver Fingerboards.
Well, actually we thought after 10 years of producing Berlin wood here with Timo that it's kind of time for something new. And we don't want to invent the wheel, but yeah, basically we want to make space for new things to happen.
Yeah, and one part of the new boards are the 7-plies. I wanted the boards a little bit heavier and a little bit stiffer. And in the end now they was coming good, really good out of the production.
Cool. So you're already happy with them?
Yeah, I love them. In my opinion, I never fingerboarded a better fingerboard
Mm-hmm. Cool.
in the last 20 years. Or 23 years I fingerboard.
Okay, cool. I think for a lot of people it came surprising, and I think there was a lot of confusion about what's going on now, because there were so many collaborations between Berlinwood and Blackriver graphic-wise and stuff like this, that I think some people probably saw it as one, an inseparable force, basically. But as we said, you did it to have more creative freedom to all of you. Can you all tell us which new creative freedom and projects you're personally looking forward to?
Okay, so as you said, we always went hand in hand and put our ideas on the table and looked how, what's possible to do. And actually we always had situations where one is more motivated and the other less. So actually it's going to end up that Blackriver is going to have a lot of Blackriver graphics. Berlinwood will stay with Berlinwood graphics. For me personally, about ideas and projects, we just looked up for some new freaky furniture, like some special veneer. I'm gonna stay up with crazy split plies and small additions about that, but also we'll look forward to get a few team riders supported with graphics. So there's all kind of ideas going around.
Nice. Sweet. And Denise? Martin?
Yeah, and we looking for cooperation with the big skateboard companies.
Mm-hmm.
And the moment we work with Girl on some collaborations. And yeah, that's the way we want to go in the future. More, mixing that with the skateboard culture.
Yeah, sweet. And Denise, I already mentioned the En Voyage series.
Yes, I want to kind of establish the edition En Voyage stuff, which is a little more artsy than it used to be, I guess. Yes, and in the past I basically made some graphics, but I want to go a step further, like a little more veneer stuff, maybe some veneer dyeing, printing techniques. I just want to experiment with it, and I look forward to some small limited editions with, I don't know, nothing big, just small stuff, experiments, new ideas, trying and see what comes out. Yeah.
Cool. Sounds great.
Nice. And speaking about that creative freedom, the third question was, is this creative freedom only going to be graphic-wise, or are there going to be different shapes as well?
Yeah, we also working on a new production system, kind of like something like that. And when we have this, when we have this ready, we will bring new shapes with Berlinwood and Blackriver Boards. So I think in the middle of the next year we will launch this.
All right, interesting.
Cool.
Yeah, actually, it's not only graphic-wise, like everything can happen on both sides, like whatever comes to our heads.
Yeah, nice. So, cool. Not limited to graphics. That's awesome. And now the big questions. Are there still going to be collaborations between the brands? Is there still going to be Blackriver, Berlinwood, En Voyage, Blackriver Fingerboards? Like, are there still going to be collabs? Or have you even thought about that yet?
Let's say we will be still open for everything.
Yeah, like I don't see it separated in a way like we don't talk to each other and we don't look at each other.
Yeah.
Like we're all still in the same building and in the same process of producing. So actually, everything is hand in hand still.
Yeah, I think the same. I mean, everything is a collaboration.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just it's just two names, but the whole thing still is a collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
So it has never stopped to be a collaboration. Just because we separate graphics doesn't mean we don't work together anymore here.
Yeah. As you can hear, we're all sitting on one table here. Of course, you all can't feel the high tension that's in it. No, I'm just kidding.
It's nice, and I'm sure most viewers will be happy about that.
Yeah.
Nice. So we come to the next question. We've been thinking about comparing this situation to the skateboard world, and maybe you could say that Black River is like the Grail-Tab distribution, and then Blackriver Fingerboards in Berlinwood would be the Girl in Chocolate. Do you see it similar, and will there be equally joined forces and shared innovations in the future?
Yeah, you said nearly everything.
Okay.
It's kind of like this, you said. With,
right.
With Girl and Chocolate.
Huh. Okay.
Yes, I think Timo and Martin said it already, or you mentioned it, like the collaboration will continue, and as we improve or change production steps, all innovations and improvements will be available on all brands.
Hope that works as well as in the skateboard world.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm really looking forward to the pretty suite of the fingerboard world. Cool. And yeah, that's actually it from our side. These were our questions, but frequent listeners of the show will know already that we give you the chance to share with the community whatever you want. So thank you all for being here, and the last words are yours.
So thanks for having us. It was much fun, and actually I just want to say, like, there's a lot of miscommunication going around. Maybe, I don't know, people having different views from being in different areas, or I don't know how to say, like, not everybody can know and see what we are doing in here, and actually it's not easy to communicate everything outside. So don't think too much about things that going on out here, because actually we are all just having fun, and we're producing fingerboards and selling fingerboards for over 20 years now, and we hope to also do that in the next 20 years. So I'm having fun with it and not hating around or anything. There's no beef going around. Like.
Word.
Oh. Yeah, don't listen to rumors if you haven't heard the people themselves.
Yeah, shred the wild fingerboards. Ben Krantz said this 2003, and it's still a thing.
Okay.
I would love to add, like, Blackriver and Berlinwood has been in 20 years a thing. I was not expecting to end up 20 years later in Schwarzenbach.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still hyped about it and thankful for that option. Like, I don't know what I would do in Berlin all the years. Like,
yeah,
I'm happy with that.
Cool.
Yeah. Thanks for having us. I think Timo summed it up pretty well.
I think so.
I guess.
Mm-hmm.
We're also happy to have Timo here in the house. And yes, keep calm, stay cool. That's it.
Cool. Thank you.
Bye.
And we go straight to the news 2.
Which is the German fingerboard forum called Fingerboard.de. And it's been gone for a long time, but now it's back and used by already quite a few users, and I'm personally very happy because that's the place where I discovered the whole fingerboard scene back in the days around 2000, and where I got all the knowledge from when I had any question about fingerboard equipment, or back in the days we had to work a lot on our fingerboards, and this was the place where you can get all the tips from the pros and yeah, I got my first fingerboarding connections there with Tim Teichert, and first meetups were organized there from my side. So I'm pretty happy that it is back, and pretty interested in how it will work nowadays, where there's a lot of other platforms to get news about fingerboarding, and yeah, like most of the scene is going on Instagram, I think. But yeah, I hope it's getting like back in the days, maybe like an encyclopedia when you have some other questions that can't be answered on Instagram. So yeah, and we contacted the guy who brought it all to life back in the days and now again, who is Fabian Schreiter, and he answered some questions for us about how it came to life again. And our first question to Fabi was to let us know some short history of Fingerboard.de, and especially why it was gone for so long and how long exactly it was gone, because I'm not sure about that.
About 20 years ago, back in 1999 or 2000, someone called Dirk Staudinger originally founded Fingerboard.de. In 2002, I became aware of the community and I signed in and I stayed, and over the years I worked all my way up to the admin area. And in 2008, I think I somehow managed to buy the domain from Dirk, and I kept it, of course. It was in 2013 or 14 when people had less and less interest in old-fashioned web communities. We all got older, we got less time, and it felt like everyone was using Facebook or other ways to keep in touch. And at the same time, I moved to another town and I got a new job and everything was in change, and so it was time for me to draw a line. So yeah, there has been 6 long years without Fingerboard.de.
And after being gone for such a long time, we wanted to know what was his motivation to come back right now. So why did he reintroduce the forum? And also, as it's probably a lot of work, we asked him how long did it take to get the project going.
The whole thing worked out very quickly. There was a discussion in a local fingerboarding WhatsApp group, and several people mentioned the good old times and how great it would be to get back a forum. And yeah, I then had a look for hosting possibilities, and I found a good offer, and some days later it was official.
And then we also wanted to know from Fabi if he can manage that whole project alone, or if he has people to help him with, or maybe if he wants to ask for help here in our show.
In the beginning, I kept it for myself because I wanted to check the new software first. But when I realized that it feels really good, I told it to Jana Kemmer and Manu Oberle. Both are currently more active in the fingerboarding thing and are familiar with online stuff. At first, we wanted to search for more team members, but somehow we didn't do it because there is not that much stuff to do right now. Anyways, if there is someone interested, just feel free to contact Jana, Manu, or me. And if there are some former admins or mods who want back their old title, just contact me.
And question number 4 was if he is satisfied with the feedback so far.
To be honest, I was a little afraid of negative reactions because there were a lot of people over the last years telling me that this kind of community is gone forever. But all the more I enjoyed all the positive posts I read, and I'm really happy about how everything evolves again.
And then we wanted to know what's his personal future plans fingerboard-wise, and can we maybe expect more Fabi fingerboard footage in the future?
Every now and then I'm thinking about filming some stuff again, but I just got too lazy. I miss having a lot of time for filming short clips or even a full length, but never say never.
And as usual, we gave Fabi some room to share whatever he wants with you.
I'm not a person of big words. Just stay awesome and have fun fingerboarding.
Thank you, Fabi, for being on our show and for sharing all that about the Fingerboard.de forum. And we jump straight into news number 3, which is a collabo between 2 huge brands of the fingerboard scene, the Asi Berlin store and the fingerboardstore.de, I would say one of the biggest web shops for fingerboarding, next to Blackriver, of course. It was announced on the 7th of November on 2020 via Instagram, and it's celebrating a more than 10 years friendship between the two brands and, of course, the people behind the brands, who have surprisingly a lot of team riders in common. Until I saw it listed there, I wasn't aware it's that many. Was it on top of your
that's
mind?
right. Yeah, Harry is on it, right?
Yeah. Harry and
some more.
Ramon and Krantz and Jean. Jean is also in both teams.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You kind of know it, but then it was not on top of my mind till I saw the list.
Yeah, on mine neither. That's right. Yeah.
Cool. The collabo it's a fingerboard tape. It's the FBS Extra Suave tape, which is Portuguese for extra smooth. And it's limited to 500 pieces. It's engraved with a scratched heart in the middle, and Aussie on the top left and FBS on the bottom right. And apparently it was drawn by Nolly, who is part of the Aussie Berlin gang.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Did you like it, Tom, the graphic?
Yeah, I do. I
Yeah.
do. It matches the styles of FBS and the Aussie logo
Yeah,
quite good, I think.
I think pretty simple but good, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Cool.
like a nice mix of both styles.
Yeah,
That's what I wanted to say. Yeah.
cool. I
And,
agree.
And also the Aussie store is turning 10 years this winter, and they further wanted to surprise everyone with another park, and they renovated the Afrobi Wonderland, which was once built by Fabian Schreiter, who did the Fingerboard Forum, as you now know.
Yeah.
And yeah, we talked to Timo and Kata about the different projects.
Cool.
At first, we want to listen to Kata's answers, and our first question to her was to let us know something about her history with the Aussie store, and maybe previous collabs if there were some, and how this one came about.
Hey Tom and Ollie. So I know a lot of guys from the Aussie Berlin crew for over 10 years right now, and some great friendships developed over the years. I've been to Berlin a lot to visit the store and to go to the Aussie Berlin events. And in fact, part of the crew is also on the FBS team. For example, Harry was actually one of the first FBS team riders ever. And Ramon, TKY, and Jean joined the team over the last couple of years too. It's always great to hang out with them. They always help out each other, and once they even came down to one of my events close to Frankfurt, and like TKY and Ramon, I think, helped out with the moderation of the event, and afterwards like the whole crew chilled at my apartment, and yeah, it's just great time with them, and it's a great friendship that developed over the years. This collabo right now is the first one with Aussie Berlin. If you guys saw the other collaborations I did with Flint and Beast Pens, it's the same thing. It's 500 sheets of tape with a graphic designed by Aussie Berlin, and the idea behind this kind of collaborations is I just reach out to people and brands that I like to work with, and I know they're giving back something to the scene, and yeah, just doing like a little collaboration thing.
Cool to hear. I think this is exactly how it should be, a collab coming from friendship and not some weird business move, you know. And then we wanted to know from Kata, is this going to be the only collab between the two brands, or is this just the start and there is more to come?
This collaboration right now is just about the FBS tape. But let's see what's happening in the future. I just invested in a laser earlier this year, so there might be some other kinds of products with laser engraving, designed in collaboration with other brands. Just stay tuned, I would say.
Cool. We're definitely staying tuned, and if there is any follow-up, you will know it here, definitely. And then, as we said already in the intro, Nolly made the graphic, and we asked Kata, did he do it alone, or was there some kind of brainstorming between the parties?
I think the original idea for the design came from TKY, but the final drawing was made by Nolly, one of the Berlin locals and longtime team member of Aussie Berlin. Also, Pascal, I think his IG handle is Slow Noise, was involved in turning Nolly's drawing into a vector file so I could do the engraving straight away.
That's nice to hear that it's also been a collaboration of different artists there. That's pretty cool. And our next question was if there are any other collabs maybe she can already tell us about.
The next release of Engraved FPS Tab is going to be a Black Friday special for November 27th. It will be an exclusive collaboration with around 15 to 20 different brands from all over the world. The majority of designs are specifically made for this collaboration. Other designs will be sort of like a pre-release. Those are designs we've been working on a couple of weeks already, and those will be released in 2021 in the usual 500 sheets limited edition style. And besides that, there are a few designs in the works, but they're not ready yet to be included in this pack. But stay tuned, in 2021 there will be some really, really cool collaborations coming out.
And now, as always, we asked for her last words. She wanted to let you know.
Thanks, Ollie and Tom, for having me on the podcast. You're doing a great job. I really enjoy the format of the podcast. I'm always looking forward to the Instagram story quiz and trying to guess the correct answer. Also, big shout out to everyone who bought one of the Ozzy Berlinix FPS tapes. This not only helps me out doing what I'm doing, but it also helps the Ozzy Berlin store to remain open. So make sure to pick up one of the tapes when you're at the Ozzy Berlin store or from the online side, so this amazing place can stay alive in those crazy times. And yeah, stay safe, everyone, and keep fingerboarding.
Wow, thank you, Kata, for being on the show and of course for these nice words.
It's great to hear that she likes to quiz a lot.
Yeah, it's really cool. You like to show our social media, and we are of course happy to have you on the show. Cool. Apart from that, as we already said, we also asked Timo Krantz to be on the show, the main man behind the Ozzy Berlin store. And we kind of asked him for 3 statements. And the first statement, of course, was also about the collabo. We also asked him if there is going to be future collabs between the 2 brands. We asked him who approached who and how that project came to be together in his own words. And as you all know, we have a crazy lockdown situation again in Germany. And therefore, we thought it's more important than ever to support physical stores. So we asked Timo as well if there is anything else people can do to support him and the Fingerboard store in Berlin, apart from buying the cool collab he did with Kata.
Yeah, good morning, Ollie. Good morning, Tom. Thanks for inviting me again. Yeah, thanks that you're asking about the collaboration we recently just did with Kata from Fingerboard Shop.de. Yeah, we are familiar and friends with Kata forever. I think I'm in her team and mostly all Ozzy team writers as well. We're writing for FBS tape ever since. And in our opinion, it's the best tape you can get, and it's the tape that supported us and our contests and everything Ozzy Berlin did over the years. And to engrave grip tapes and to make logos into them, it's pretty hot nowadays. We can see that the shop, because we are selling a lot of the DK engraved tape, for example. And yeah, I always had it in mind to make a collaboration with Kata, because I saw her collaborate with Beast Pants, I think, and with Flint, and she made it really nice. She made a little artwork. There's a design for it. There's a limited edition of tapes, and you're gonna get a sticker sheet or something with it. So it's a really nice presentation. And I saw her doing this with others, and I think I told her already years ago that I like to do it with her as well. And finally in 2020 it worked out. We made a design. Actually, Nolly made the design. I'm not that good at drawing. And yeah, we all liked it the most, and yeah, we picked this design, and Kada made some test engravings in the tape, and it looked good, and yeah, this is how it all came about, and we are pretty happy with it. And the tape is available at the FBS shop, the Fingerboard store DE, and at the Asi Berlin shop only. And yeah, you're asking why collaborations are important, or why we like to collaborate that much. It's, I think, something the shop needs to do, because when we started 3 years ago, it was a little bit from the dust, from, how you say, the phoenix from the ashes, something like this. We didn't had much beside our name, and we didn't had much beside the shop and the place everybody was knowing in the world, and we tried to keep it. And but we needed help. We needed some more maybe more famous companies who like to collaborate with us. So we have our name out there, on that way. And I think one of the other reasons we like to collaborate is the friendship thing. Fingerboarding is so much about friendship, and most of the companies are asked to collaborate with in the first years of the beginning of the ASI shop, were the companies who helped me along the way. Like Blanktoon, for example. Blanktoon was sponsoring so many contests back then, and they were one of the first ones I asked if they like to collaborate, to pay back a little bit as well. It's like they help me and we help them a little bit as well. Yeah, and this is one of the reasons the ASI shop is down to collaborate with people who helped us, and we like to help them as well.
Oh yeah, that's really nice to hear always when the different brands are there for one another still, and also in those challenging times especially. Yeah, okay, but now let's talk about the Afrobi Wonderland. We were wondering when it came into possession of the store and how it did. And we also see Nolly restoring plenty of parks recently. So we'd like to know if there maybe are other hidden treasures in their basement still. And we've seen they wanted to present the park at their 10 years anniversary, which unfortunately didn't happen. So we were wondering if they have any plans already when the celebration's gonna be.
Yeah, let's talk about the Afrobi Wonderland. I think the Afrobi Wonderland is one of the oldest fingerboard parks made by a private person. I think I first saw it or heard about it was 2005, 2000, maybe even a little bit earlier. And the story was that Fabian Schreiter, he built it. He lives in South Germany. And he's a good friend with Gene Zengis. And Gene Zengis lives in Berlin and is an Asi Berlin team rider. And I think Fabi gave the park as present for Gene. And Gene took the park after a Weißwurst Ist-Jam, maybe in 2008, 2009, I'm not that sure. He took the park with the train to Berlin. And I think he was at Gene's house first, and then somehow went to Harry's place, Harald Schön, you all know him, our video guy. And it was for a while at Harry's place. And I think stuck there for a year maybe, and then Harry restored it, but Harry's place was so small, you could imagine that even the fingerboard park fitted in there. And then in 2010, when we opened the fingerboard shop in Berlin, I think it moved already 2010, 2011 maybe, into the basement just to be there, because Harry needed the space back in his living room. And yeah, ever since it was just in the basement of the shop, and it was there. It was covered with banners, and every time we needed some banners or for a contest or whatever, it was like, man, there's this park, because it was covered with trash and banners and stuff. we don't need that often. And I think we took it out maybe one time a few years ago, and it was nearly not shreddable. The surface was so bad, and we could not really ride on it. So it just went back under the banners, I guess. And and since like a year, Nolly helps me with all the concrete stuff in the basement, and he also cleaned up the basement and make his own workshop down there. And he found the spark back again, and started to restore it. And I think he was probably doing this for a year, maybe a little less, in his free time, mostly. And and a few weeks ago, it looked pretty sick already. It just needed a layer of lacquer and maybe a little bit of sanding. And we knew we had the Afrobi Wonderland back, which is like just such a iconic park, such a iconic thing. And we knew we had the 10 years anniversary coming in November, and we thought this will be the best thing ever to present you guys and the scene, a new spot, a new park, and such a old one, such a good one, an old one, and historical one. And this was one of the surprises we wanted to offer for the birthday party. Yeah, unfortunately it got cancelled, and we all know why. And it's not good to meet at the moment and to have a big party. And we're gonna postpone the celebrations for next year for sure, but we don't have a date yet, and it's hard to plan anything now. But I guess when it gets a little bit warmer in the spring, we're gonna make a big party and a big fingerboard session, and doing this birthday celebrations. And you also asked if we hide some more treasures in the basement, and yes, to be honest, there are a few more spots probably never been seen by people. There's one pretty famous as well. We call it the 360 bend spot. A spot probably people know that it's a brick spot made by a private person as well, and he gave it as a present to the shop years ago. And it's down there some as well, getting dusty. And we need to build a table for this one, and there are a few more granite and marble spots and ledges we just received from people over the years, and maybe we gonna restore them as well.
The park really went a long way. It's crazy, the idea that a concrete park was transported by one person in the train across Germany. So big props to you, Gene. That's crazy. And we're looking forward to the 10-year anniversary celebration next year. Hope to see you all in Berlin, and definitely hoping that there are already some more treasures to shred for us all. And as usual, you know it already. Also, Timo had some words where he could tell you whatever he wanted.
And I hope I didn't talk too much. And I hope to see everybody in the next year in the springtime, like I already wrote in a text message on Instagram or something. When the weather gets warmer and the beer gets colder and the regulations getting less, we like to invite everybody for the big party and celebrate fingerboarding in the fingerboard shop in Berlin. Bye.
All right, thanks a lot, Timo, for being on the show again and answering our questions. And now we're going to go to news number 4, which is also our listener behind the scenes this time. It is a man from Colorado, USA. He's called on Instagram, his name is darkmatter_FB. And he's doing mostly cool obstacles, but also even, in our opinion, even sicker parks.
Yeah,
which were ultra realistic. And he builds famous skateboarding spots, like he already did Carlsbad and Magba and the Hollywood 16.
The
for
Hollywood
example.
16 are like outstanding. It's like, I mean, all the parks are so realistic, you immediately know what it is. But the Hollywood 16 is so big, right? He did 3 stair
it's huge.
sets and
Uh-huh. Even the neighboring stair set you don't often see on the videos and
yeah,
stuff, right?
yeah.
And the big fence you can take away to make it more rideable, and
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Takes so much love to detail, and yeah, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his latest project was Loading Dock, which also looks, when you see it on a picture, it looks like the big thing, but then you look closely and maybe see that it's a smaller version.
Yeah, it had even working lights and opening doors, like the videos he showed. It's great. And even mini stickers on the flat rail. Did you see that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love details like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so cool. Guys, if you want a custom park, you can contact him via the website, which is www.darkmatterfb.com. But you know it already. We reached out to him and we first asked him 1 or 2 questions about his news project, the Loading Dock. So this is kind of news 4. But then as it's such a cool thing he does, we also did the listener behind the scenes and went into more detail with him about Dark Matter Customs.
And first of all, we asked him to introduce himself and his company to all of you who don't know about him yet.
Hello, everyone. My name is Aaron. I own Dark Matter Customs, Dark Matter FB on the Instagram. I am 29 years old, out of Colorado, United States, and I make custom and scale replica fingerboard parks and obstacles.
And our next questions were concerning the Loading Dock he built lately. We wanted to know if that was a custom order or just another outburst of his creativity, and if this one maybe was a replica of a real spot or just imagination.
The loading dock itself was actually a commission by a buddy of mine who owns another company that makes obstacles. You can check him out. He goes by Foul Fingers. He does a bunch of cement obstacles, but he wanted something that was a loading dock with a long rail and some realistic looking brick. He had actually referenced my Hollywood High brick and said he wanted it to look similar. So if you notice, it's kind of the same color scheme and texture that I did on the Hollywood High stair set.
And as we already said, the park has, or the loading dock has working lights, opening doors, and small stickers. So we were wondering how much detail planning goes into a project like that.
As far as planning goes, most of my builds I draw up on a 3D software so I can sort of get the general dimensions down. Especially when I'm replicating something, I like to build somewhat to scale, usually 1 to 12 because it makes it easy with our stupid standard metric system we use here in the US. 1 foot to 1 inch makes it real easy. So a lot of my builds are 1/12 and they are planned out on the computer ahead of time. And then as I go along, kind of like as you saw with the loading dock and the lights, I may come up with an idea as I'm going, or maybe need to change something as I'm realizing the implementation of it isn't going to work, or maybe I just think of a better way to do it. So, I mean, I've done complete projects completely just without any planning, and I've done projects with full planning, following the plan to the T. So it kind of depends on what it is that I'm working on and what it calls for. The lights were sort of an afterthought. Usually what I do when I start a build, especially a commission, I got to work within your budget. This was a friend of mine, so I was happy to kind of go above and beyond, just for the sake of it being a friend. But normally what I will do with customers who request a custom is I'll get your parameters, whether you want something replicated of a real spot, or if you want something in a certain size or with certain features. Maybe you want something to fit in a certain area or to fit in a corner. And then I'll ask for your budget, and then we'll kind of work within those parameters, basing the detail off of what the budget is. As far as builds that I decide to do on my own, usually those tend to lean more toward the more detailed side, just because they're more passion projects, things I'm doing just because I had a cool idea that I thought I wanted to bring to life, or a skate spot that I'm really interested in. Carlsbad and Hollywood High are two of my favorites, and MacBa, so I had to make those three for sure. So.
And to talk a bit more about your company in general, we'd like to know, is this your full-time living, or do you have a day job also?
Yeah, no, this is not a full-time job for me. I wish it was, I wish I could pay my living based off of things I can make for everyone, but the reality of the situation is things that I make doesn't really have a large customer base that is able to afford or store it. I get a lot of young kids who are stoked on what I'm able to create, but they don't have a few $100s to spend on something large or the space to put it. So that's part of the reason why I've been trying to focus a little more on the smaller obstacles lately, so keep an eye out for that. Hopefully we can get some dark matter items to more people at a lower price point. So.
Well, Aaron, we wish you all the best and keep all our fingers crossed so it hopefully is a full-time living someday, because it's really great work you're doing there. And we were wondering, what kind of job must one learn to be able to do such great things? I mean, he works with all kinds of materials, with like wood and concrete, and even electricity goes in there. So we were wondering, where does the skill come from?
I like to joke that I have a master's degree in YouTube. Pretty much everything I know, I've kind of just picked up along the way. I am kind of a DIY kind of person, so when there's an opportunity to repair something, I learn what needs to be learned and take care of it. And in that process, you kind of pick up a lot of odd skills. So I can weld, I can work with concrete, wood, stone. I've been recently diving into mold making with like resins and silicones, urethanes. So it's been a lot of fun just learning, and the internet's been a really good tool, especially YouTube, for all kinds of different techniques. I mean, I've pulled techniques from furniture building, all over the place. Different types of finishing and textures you can do with paint. There's a lot of cool stuff out there if you are willing to dive down the rabbit hole.
It's a funny way to put it, as a master's degree in YouTube. But I'm thinking about that a lot too. You can learn almost anything on YouTube nowadays. It's really a great tool. Yeah, and you come out with some great skills, as we can see on his work. And now we also asked him for some last words he wants to let you all know.
Being a dispatcher, I spend a lot of time at a desk in front of a computer. So fingerboarding is the perfect hobby to kill time when you're stuck at a desk. And I didn't realize the scale of what people were doing out there until I saw a Carlsbad build by a dude who goes by Los Angeles Fingerboards. He brought it out to an event we had in Colorado, and it just blew my mind. After I saw that, I went home, I made my first part, and it was over.
Sweet, Aaron. Thanks for sharing that story, and thanks for sharing all that answers with us. As we said, we wish you all the best for the future and hope to have you on the show soon again with some another cool project. And now we're going into a category that I think you all like as much as we do. It's the product of the episode. Yes, we didn't have it last episode, but Sid is back and he is reviewing another cool product for you. companies out there, you can be on the show as well. If you want your products to be reviewed, just send a private message on Instagram at @vicious274, @vicious274. Contact Sid, get your products across, and you'll be featured on the show. And here is the product of the episode for this episode.
Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Sid, aka Vicious274, coming at you with another review. And yes, we were on a bit of a hiatus, but we're back, and I got a pretty good one to share with you guys today. So I'm going to be doing a deck review from a friend of mine that I met back in, I believe it was 2011, when I took a trip down to the Azorian Islands of Portugal, and I happened to meet him on the island of San Miguel. His name is Antonio Pacheco, and his Instagram is switchstance_FB. And he reached out to me recently and said that he started making decks, and that they also do custom graphics, like custom paintings on these decks, him and a friend of his. So he sent me the deck, as you could see in the photo, and I gotta tell you, man, it is not bad for somebody who just started making decks. I was highly impressed. The graphic, I had no idea what the graphic was going to be, but the painting is really well done. And the deck itself, dimensions, I believe he said it's about 33.7 millimeters wide, and I believe 96.6 millimeters long. But he said that this was a custom deck, so he has another shape and size that he does as well. But if you're interested in this deck, you can always reach out to him on Instagram at switchstance_FB and find out if he can make custom graphics for you or custom sizes, all that fun stuff. This one in particular has more of a squared nose and a rounded tail. And the nose is more steep than the tail, which I really like because it makes it a little easier to do flip tricks. However, with this particular deck, it is a little wider than what I'm used to. I'm more of like a 32 millimeter type of guy, and the concave on this deck is more. It's more on the medium side, where I prefer a more low to flat concave. So it took a little bit getting used to, not gonna lie. But you know what? After a while, it was no problem. Now, the reason why I like that the nose is squared and the tail is rounded is because some people prefer more squared kicks, where other people prefer more rounded kicks. So for me, for example, when I do my switch tricks, I use the tail side as my popping side, and then when I do my nollies, obviously we use the nose. But with this particular deck, the nose was a little too square for me to do nollie tricks, so I would just flip the deck the other way and use the tail as the nose. I mean, we've all done it, but that's the way that I prefer doing it with this particular deck. So you kind of get the best of both worlds when it comes to this this particular deck. So yeah, the craftsmanship really well done. 5-ply, the standard. The sanding is really well done. I guess the rounding of the tail, the squareness of the nose. I was very, very impressed with this deck. And again, he says he does custom graphics with his friend. He's got another shape that he's working on. He said that he might be sending it over to me, so hopefully I'll be able to share that with you guys. But if you like what you see in the photo, reach out to him. Again, his Instagram is switchstance_FB, and he'd be happy to answer all your questions regarding the decks that he makes. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed this review, and keep fingerboarding. 2 fingers, peace.
Yeah, thanks again, Sid. Great to have you back on the show. It's been a pleasure again. And now we go into the story quiz. And this week it's Ollie's turn, and I have to ask, to guess.
Yes, yeah. That's exactly right. And Tom, this time I looked who's following us and picked a story, and you basically have to see how good you know our fans.
Oh, good. Okay.
Okay. So he or she reposted a post from Instagram called Book of Guitars. it's a picture of an angry woman sitting on a table and putting her finger in front of her lips to signal to shut up. You know? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you also see someone sitting with a guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And above it, it says, "Wife asked if I could stop singing Wonderwall."
And I said, maybe.
Yes. Right. And
I've actually seen it.
Oh, you've
but
seen it?
I've seen it, but I don't remember who posted it.
Cool. So
go
you
on.
know the picture very well. So, was that A, Soundsphere, a Berlin musician and co-founder of the Switchcraft podcast?
Mhm.
Or was that B, Elvis_Jesley, preparing the next song on whatever instrument he's playing there?
The Jews harp. It's
Okay.
called, I think.
Or is that C, Rebellin or Rebel 1N, between roller derby training and couple selfies?
Okay. Yeah, funny. I know all of them.
Yeah.
It could be all of them. But I know that Soundsphere plays bass guitar and guitar too, maybe.
Okay.
And I think when I've seen it, I found it to be pretty funny, and I loved it. And I think it was Soundsphere.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Tom, well done.
I know our followers.
Okay. You do. You get an extra prize for knowing our fans.
Nice. Yeah, good one. So nice.
Sorry?
It's been a good one. Nice job.
Yeah, thanks. Oh, thank you. So much flattery today. Everyone's telling us how cool we are. Funny.
Even us.
Yeah, just kidding. We go straight into the next and last category, which is video of the episode. Tom, what is your video of the episode?
My video of the episode is actually this time 3 videos, because I couldn't really decide which one to pick because they all were so amazing. And the first one I'd like to mention is the new part of Ramon Angelo. He released it under the name of 2.0 Flat Face Team Video 2020 part. Yeah, where he shredded many spots at the Aussie store, with most of it self-filmed, or when he put the camera somewhere, then he at least had the light in his other hand and lighted up the spots where he was riding. And yeah, as usual, Ramon, sick tricks, insane lines, and with the self-filming and lighting, to me it looks pretty cool, and yeah, I loved it. And another video I've seen on Instagram, which I really enjoyed also, is by another Austrian guy coming back into the scene. He has a relatively young Instagram fingerboarding account and goes by the handle Stoner Plaza Fingerboarding. And to celebrate his 700th follower, he put out an edit which is so dope filmed. I just loved the atmosphere and the lighting. He used a really good camera, and he built a lot of spots in his park. And yeah, the filming is just so good with the color grading, gives such a nice atmosphere to it. Just like a lot of sun through his windows falling on the obstacles, and yeah, it looked amazing. So I had to mention this too. And last but absolutely not least is an edit by Tobias Stoll, a team rider of PopDecks. So I'm very happy to see a new part of him, especially because most of you, I guess, also know he's an insanely technical rider. And yeah, he recently got a new cam, which he was visiting me with, and we also filmed a few things, but unfortunately he messed up the settings, so we couldn't use any of that footage. But now he did his own filming, and apparently he's got better in using his camera, and yeah, it looks pretty amazing. He released this on his Instagram account and on his YouTube. His Insta is StolliPop. And yeah, just go watch it for yourself. It's mainly desk footage, but it's very nicely filmed with his new cam. And yeah, as you know, he does some mind-bending tricks and combos. Always coming up with creative stuff there. And yeah, go watch it. You'll love it too, I guess. And that's it for me. So now, what's yours, Ollie?
My video of the episode is Aposentados from Bernardo Bastos. I hope I said the name right. It's super sick tricks. But what's more important to me about this video is the atmosphere. This was definitely the main reason to choose this video. It looks like a session in one of the guys' home. And it was all filmed on the playground on different spots. Always different people are in the frame, and there's a lot of smiling, and it just seems like there are good vibes going on. There are also some double tricks between the riders, and yeah, it's just a great atmosphere, like a nice video, and it's maybe just nice to see people coming together in these times where you can feel very alone. It's including, and I'm just saying the Instagram names now, it's including at Bernardo Bastos 95, at LSBFB, at Canale Sucha, at PM Atos FB, at LRODFB 94, at W.CMN, and at GGAto. It was released on the 5th of November 2020 on YouTube. Check it out. All right, we're almost through with the 9th episode of the Fingerboard PopCast, but we have one last thing we would like to ask you. As you've all seen, we wanted to start a bi-weekly Fingerboard podcast show for you to stay up to date with the scene, to have all the latest news, and we also wanted to entertain you on Instagram with like the favorite fingerboarders of your favorite fingerboarder stories and the quotes and all of that. And as you've seen, we, due to many circumstances, couldn't really stick to it. But we want to stick with it. We want to produce a bi-weekly show. We want to have the full entertaining on Instagram and reach out to you and be your news show. And therefore, we thought, why? Why should Tom and me alone try to hustle and make everything perfect when we know there are so many great people out there in a great scene that we love from the fullest of our heart? And so we want to include you. We want to include everyone who wants to be included in the show. If you want to help in any way, may it be research, do you maybe want to suggest topic to us? Do you even want to help edit the show? Do you want to be part of the editorial meetings? Whatever. Feel free to reach out to our Instagram account, Fingerboard PopCast, and write us a private message. Let us know, how do you want to be involved, if you want to be involved, and we're definitely getting back to you, because at the moment we're happy about everyone who wants to help us and make the show to become more regular. So if you want to be part of the team, which right now is Tom, me, and Sid, who I can't forget, he is definitely a big part of our show as well, reach out to us. Tom, did I forget anything?
No, that's pretty much it. Yeah, it's a lot of work, a lot of time. We would be pretty thankful if someone can help us there. And also, I think it might help to make it even more international, because our focus is obviously a little more on the German scene sometimes.
True.
So because that's what we recognize the most. So yeah, if you're from somewhere else in the world, wherever, and think there are newsworthy things happening and you want to maybe interview someone there and help us in that way, that would be cool.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be great. And yeah, reach out to us. And therefore, Now have a nice 2 weeks, and we hear you soon.
Thanks for listening.
Keep on fingerboarding.
Can't stop fingerboarding. Can't stop fingerboarding. Can't stop fingerboarding. 'Cause I live fingerboarding. 'Cause I live fingerboarding. 'Cause I live fingerboarding.